Good morning. If you're not up to date with what's been going on, that may just look like a regular car behind me. But if you've been watching the content lately, or happen to notice the two cannons sticking out of the front of the car, then you probably know that we've spent the past couple of days making this sort of removable, attachable, detachable, storable, collapsible skateboard rail. Right? How fun is that? We have a lot of work cut out for ourselves today, so I don't want to spend too much time yapping. I just want to get to work. If you want to watch the process of how we got here, or why we got there, why we're doing what we're doing, or the next steps of what I want to do today, I'll have part one where we get to here linked in the description. That being said, let's get straight to work. The idea here really is pretty simple. It's essentially just going to be making these attachable extensions. I have to add a leg, and I want those legs to be adjustable, because if I change the height of my car or whatever. My biggest concern, I guess the biggest task I have, is to figure out how to attach this little inner tube to this outer tube without welding that. I'm gonna do my best to explain it on our whiteboard here. So this, boom, 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 boom. That is our pre-existing rail that we have mounted on the front of the car, right? The goal is to get another piece of that 2-inch tubing to mount flush up against it so you have an extension so we have a longer rail. Inside of that, what we're gonna use is that 1 3/4 inch tubing that sleeves directly inside of it for a perfect fit. However, normally what I would do is boom, 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 boom. That outer one is 2 inches, that inner one is the 1 3/4. Normally to connect these, you would weld all around that seam there. That's how you get them to adhere to each other. The problem with that is that if we were to combine that together to, mesh them together like we're supposed to, there'd be that big old weld mark that you just couldn't grind over. And we obviously don't want the weld mark at the end, so I'm thinking to myself, like, how do we get that fused together without actually welding anything? This was legitimately keeping me up last night, and I think I came up with the solution. I think. So because I really have no idea if this is gonna work, instead of explaining the whole process, then going and doing it just to find out it doesn't work, I'm just gonna strap you guys to my head and see if it works first. I just wanna triple check some things first. The first is that this is 3.5 feet. I'm 99% sure it is. Yes, it is. Okay. So what I'd love to do is have another 3.5 foot extension on this side and another 3.5 foot extension on this side for a total of a one big 10.5 foot rail attached to my car. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut those two 3.5 foot sections just so I have those. Come to Papa. There we go. 42 inches right there. Make sure that's all lined up on the bandsaw. Tighten her up, and we can't forget the lube. Nice. All right, here is our second one. Our first one is right up here. Make sure they're both the same length. They are, that's always good. So, as I showed in that diagram, we are going to be making these removable by using this 1 3/4 inch tubing. As you can see, it just sort of sleeves over it. And I want a 6-inch overlap in each side just to make sure it's nice and stable. So we are gonna do 2 1-foot sections of this. Isn't this fun content, guys? Super exhilarating. We're gonna do 2 feet and then just cut that in half. Again, get her nice and lined up. This one really doesn't have to be accurate at all. I could really just use the chop saw for this to speed it up, but I like the bandsaw. I like the precision. All right, let's get these cut, and then we can actually get to the experimental part that I want to figure out if it works. Give me the pipe. It's actually tube, not pipe. There's a difference. I learned that. Thank you very much. And then these ones, I am gonna go over with the angle grinder just to sort of bevel the edge there, because those are gonna be, inserted into the 2-inch tube. And we want maximum ease of insertion. All right, so are you ready for things to get crazy? Because here's where my magical idea comes into play. The end goal, here, I'll assemble it really quick to show you the end goal. You go there, and this kind of goes a little something like that. And this kind of goes a little something just like that, right? Give or take. Oh, no way, dude. All right. Oh my God. So again, our issue here is that, as you can see, these kind of all disassemble from each other, and we want these two to be just like that, but fused together, and we can't weld there. So here's my idea. I present to you drill press with this little attachment that I actually got for fingerboard rails. Oh, you know what? It might help if it's plugged in. Okay. I should definitely find a way to like clamp it on so I make sure the angle is the same. We don't do things the right way here. Yeah, as I pull down, that's adding pressure to it and keeping it level. We're chilling. I'm starting with a small bit. I might be able to just get away with the 1/2 inch, but I wasn't sure if I was supposed to start with a smaller one. All right, just like that, we're through. Okay, do you see the, wait, where's the other side? How did it not, what? Oh, it didn't go through both sides, okay. There's the other side, I think. Yeah, okay, there's both sides. Honestly, I don't think I need to do that little pilot hole. I think, cause I wanna drill with this 1/2 inch. Let me just try that. Dude, that bit is not straight. That is 100% a bent bit. What did I do to bend a 1/2 inch bit? Okay, well, 3/8. Ah! I almost took this with me. 3/8 inch we go. There we go. That is all the way through on both ends. Now this might be overkill, but I'm gonna do another hole the other way here to sort of form like an X. I'll try this one not pre-drilling too. Boom, there we go. We are through. All right, there is our holy pipe. Wouldn't be the first time I've heard that one. All right, class, look, I have the hole in my hair from wearing the GoPro head mount. Does anyone have any ideas as to why I just drilled those 4 holes into the end of this tube? What about now? Now, do you know why I might have drilled those 4 holes into the tube? Still no? Okay, wait, what about? What about now? Now do you get it? Are you seeing the vision yet? No? Okay, wait. Okay. What about now? Now do you see it? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really proud of this. And for all I know, this is a thing that actually exists, like a technique. I came up with this by myself, so I'm proud of it. These tubes are now seamlessly combined. I can go over that with a finer grit sandpaper if I care about that texture, but it's gonna get painted. This 1 3/4 inch tube isn't going anywhere. I mean, that's welded solid in there. You know, it's obviously not gonna give you the structural integrity to like build a roll cage or something, but I mean, for what we're using it for, that worked absolutely flawlessly. Because now, if we bring this thing over to our rail here, very simply, we just go, boom! It worked! And just like that, we have our, well, I guess I was gonna say seamless, but there is a seam, obviously, because they're separate pieces. I just tripped on that. We have this cruiser board that has been split in 2, but we need the trucks for right now. That should be absolutely no issue whatsoever for grinding over that. That is completely fine. Oh man, I forgot I just painted that. I haven't even skated it yet. With that little strategy working exponentially better than I thought, it's time to do that whole process over again for this end. However, that's going to be very repetitive because we literally just did it, so I will spare you guys the footage. I'm just kidding. I'm selfishly doing it for myself because I just want to play music really loud and vibe out. So I'll see you guys when it's done. It's done. Well, no, it's not. We got to do like the legs and feet and everything. But the way that it locks into each other, it's looking good. This is actually absurd. This is insanity. This is the first one that we did. That can come right on out. And then this one is the second one that we just did. Same exact thing there. The invisible locking mechanism, that's what I'll call it. So now the legs and the feet, and the legs have to be variable height with a cotter pin or a locking pin, whatever that's called. I was thinking about it too, because my original plan was to use some sort of locking pin either through the side here and like hope my trucks wouldn't hit it, or just through the bottom. I don't think that's going anywhere, dude, especially once we have a leg over here and a foot planted on the ground. Like when you're skating it, the physics. I really don't think I'll need locking pins. And if I do, I can drill that and add those later, but I think I can get away with it. I gotta figure out these legs though. So I just ordered these. It's a 4-pack of quick release pins, they call it, 1/4 inch diameter, 3 inches of usable length. And I know that the, see there, you can see the dimensions. I know that the legs are going to be adjustable, like variable height. So I know that I'm gonna need those, what do they call them? I keep wanting to say cotter pin, but that's like what's in there. Quick release pin, that's what it is. So again, this is the rail. That's gonna be the extension that we just made, okay? Near the end of it, there's gonna be another 2-inch tube coming down, and then this would have holes, you know, something like that, for example, and you can stick that, I'm just gonna call it a cotter pin because I forget what the quick release pin. And then there would be that smaller 1 3/4 in there that also has holes in it, so you can, you know, adjust the height that way. That's pretty simple. But then I got to thinking, right, these are gonna need some feet of some sort, just something to, when you skate it, to hit the ground. And this is where the wheels in my brain really started turning. What do wheels do? I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, realistically, what's the point of having a rail attached to a car if the car is just parked, right? Why not just build a flat bar? I went out and I bought some wheels. So back to the drawing board here, literally. Instead of the foot just being a circular plate, it's gonna be a square plate with bolt holes to bolt those wheels onto something like that. So there's gonna be one wheel on that side, and there's gonna be one wheel on the other side of the extension. So picture this sort of, you know, like that, give or take, connected with a leg, obviously. Let's say the car is slowly driving forward, and you skate the rail, you're hopping on a 50-50. That wheel is gonna make contact with the ground and act as a support so the rail doesn't bend like it would now. But unlike a foot where it would just catch the ground, it's a wheel, so it would roll, so it's gonna allow this whole thing to move. And obviously they'll still act as supports if you're just skating it stationary. Ah, this is fun. So I went ahead, as you can tell by all of this scrap metal, I went ahead and cut what we need. It took me a while to figure out these measurements. You can see I have this marked for the adjustable drill holes. And then we have the inserts, and the metal plate that attaches to the wheels is gonna be welded to this. So that is gonna be a little something like that. And this one, you can see I notched them already. That's gonna be, you know, somewhere there. And then this with the wheel attached is gonna scoot into that with the adjustable height depending on my suspension, I think. I've based this entire project off of I think, and so far it's come out great. So now we have the finish line in sight with this little sleeve inserted to its maximum height, right? Because the rail is gonna be sitting there. Or I guess by maximum height, I mean lowest height. We want to drill our 1/4 inch hole through both the exterior and the interior tube, because that locking pin is gonna go in. So that's a crazy motion to do. Lube, 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 lube. Here is the lube. The shop is a mess. I have to clean everything. This drilling is gonna take a while because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 holes, but it's going through 2 layers of 120 wall tubing. Thanks to the magic of editing though, it really won't take that long for you. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3, and you guessed it, there's 4. Yeah, there's our 4 adjustable. I'm gonna have to hammer that out because there's a bunch of metal shavings in there. But yeah, that's all looking good. I'm just gonna do that again. All right, I made a little executive decision. I realized I didn't have to drill the exterior one as well as the interior one. You can see here, you can get away with drilling the inside one and leaving just 1 hole on the outside, because this is going to be attached to the rail. This is going to be attached to the wheel, and then you can just kind of slip it in and decide your height there. So it just looks cleaner only having 1 hole there. And then my locking pins don't get here till tomorrow, but I was just testing it with this 1/4 inch bit. So boom, there's 1. We can drop it down a level. Boom, there is 2, right? Just like that. 1 more, and that is 3, and lastly, the lowest level, boom, is 4. That's my first time ever making a adjustable leg height, so that's cool. We really are so close to the finish line now. The last thing that we need is to use this CNC machine with this 1/4-inch steel plate, and I have to make a bracket that is going to bolt up here, so it has to match this bolt pattern that the caster wheel came with. I got a big old bag of nuts and washers and lock washers and stuff, right? So these, there's gonna be a washer there, but boom, that's gonna bolt the plate that I'm gonna make with the CNC machine to this wheel. And you may have guessed it, but then this is going to, boom, weld onto that plate, so when you bolt it on, you have that adjustable wheel leg now. And then once that's fully assembled, this will be fully assembled to there, and you can get your adjustable height rail. Oh, I am a mess right now. Oh, there is our water. I really do think that this CNC plasma table has been one of the best investments I've ever purchased for myself. I was so hesitant about, like, I've wanted it for years, like even before living in LA, I think. I've always thought it was the coolest thing to be able to cut metal like that. And then once I moved in here, I was like, dude, if there's ever a time to pull the trigger, it is now. And I could not imagine all the doors it opened up. I feel like since getting this, I've got, like, this is what got me into working with metal, which has sparked all the skate rails, like it has really opened up so much just entertainment for me. Plasma table on, plasma cutter plugged in, plasma cutter on, material grounded, air hose connected, close that little thing, and then let this bad boy fill up. It had been a while since I booted up Fusion and tried to design anything. I think the last thing I made was some fingerboard rails, but even that was a month or two ago, and the knowledge didn't really stick as well as I would have hoped. So trying to design this bracket, it kind of felt like I was starting from scratch. It's a super simple bracket. It's just a rectangular square with 4 circles in it, but getting everything to line up was a little difficult. I would bring in some reference photos that I took. I took a bunch of measurements and tried my best to match it up. But I have a track record of not doing it right the first time, and you'll see that track record remained true even through this time. Here is the little plate that I cooked up. It is very simple. Whoa, what's happening? I took a bunch of photos of the top plate of this, and I took a bunch of measurements, and I modeled this after those measurements, so I think it'll be good. Honestly, let's just hope this works, shall we? Sprayed my face more than I thought it was going to. Oh God! What have I done to the camera? Ah! All right, it is time for the moment of truth. I think every time I've tried to make a bracket based off of pictures and measurements, I don't think I've ever done it right on the first time. That's about to change. Oh. What the fuck did I do wrong? That's... Oh. I was an inch off. I know what I did. Where this says 2.875, that's supposed to be 3.87. There we go. That looks more like the square that we're going for. All right, take 2. That looks more along the lines of what we're going for here. Plate, steaming hot plate, burning hot plate, hot plate. Money. That is money, baby. All of the holes line up. Beautiful. At first I tried to copy, because these are like ovals, not holes, but I got lost. I'm not very good at designing stuff in CAD, so that's went with the circles, but we'll be able to fit the bolts through there perfect. We got the center of those plates marked. We have our inserts ready to get welded on. Per usual, I'm gonna tack everything on. Those, these, that's it. Wow, okay. Just make sure everything fits and then home stretch. I think it's time. I think it's time to test fit everything. Take that off. Everything is welded or tacked on temporarily at least. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's bolt up these wheels, shall we? So we got that to that, to that, to that. Let me tighten that down. I'm just doing everything by hand for now. Oh my God. All right. All right, so you go there, you go there. You go there. We don't have the locking pins right now, so we're just gonna rest them there. That goes there. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the best thing I've ever created in my entire life. It doesn't even look real. I need to drive it. I gotta put it in the trunk so I can make it through the driveway. Ran into one issue. I'm sure we're gonna run into more issues, but as of now, I see one issue. Remember when I said I thought I could get away without having to use a locking pin or something for these? Now that these are on wheels, if you stand on this, they just want, well, now it's not doing it. So, like that. See how it wants to rotate? Oh, well, I forgot about that too. It wants to rotate really badly. So I think I do need that cotter pin there, or that locking mechanism to keep that from rotating. I think just a really short one in the bottom there. Gotta drill in the bottom there. Gotta drill in the bottom there. I gotta use the impact and actually tighten all of these. Before that though, I gotta go through and finish all of the welds, like these as well, these. Then I gotta hit it with the paint so it matches this one. The sun is already just about gone, so unfortunately we're not gonna get to skate it today. Drill those locking holes, finish welding, paint, tighten the nuts and bolts. That's it. That's a wrap. I am absolutely exhausted. I present to you my car. Looks like an average car, right? Well, it's a pretty good looking 240. I'd say above average, but you know what I mean. However, if we pop open the trunk here, I present to you the world's first, I think, relatively compact travel drift compactable, I already said that. The world's first Nissan 240SX removable 10-foot flat bar skateboard attachment with wheels. That's gotta be a first. Wheels, boom, both wheels stored. The bash bar thing stored. Both legs or extensions stored. And now it's time for the first assembly, the first full assembly finished. Oh my God, what have I made? Here it is in all of its glory. Got everything tightened down, got everything painted. There's so many things I want to say. I think the first one, because I think I talked about this in the first video, but I don't think I've mentioned it in this one. This is not practical. It's not supposed to be practical. I don't even know I don't know what the point is. I'm only one person. I can't drive my car and skate my car. I think the end goal obviously would be really cool to have someone do donuts and try to 50-50. I don't know if I'm gonna die. I don't wanna die. I still have to figure out the logistics of what actually is possible. Obviously it's just a stationary rail. It'll work fine. For me, it's like, dude, I've found this passion for creating things and building things and working with my hands. It's a new passion. I'm very new to all of this, but I love this shit, dude. I love making things, and especially when they're like things that have never ever been made or done. To my knowledge at least, this was so fun. That being said, I'm so just fried right now, dude. It's officially nighttime. It is dark. It is raining. It is wet. We're done. Unfortunately, I really can't test this out until it's dry. So I am all ears, or should I say eyes? I'm gonna be looking through the comments. What do I do with this? Please help me. What do I do? I've made this thing. What is the best way to use this thing? There might not be a good way to use this thing. It might be one of the more pointless things ever created. Time will tell. I had fun. Thank you guys for watching. Channel members, thank you for supporting and making stuff like ridiculous stuff like this possible. I'll have a link in the description if you're interested in joining and supporting. All of the money generated from channel memberships goes straight back into tools and materials for projects just like this. So thank you to everyone that's joined and helped with stuff like this, because this is unreal. I'm looking forward to skating this. Catch you guys next video. Peace out.